Hi, my name is Ruusa Nandago. I am the Economist at FNB Namibia, and I'll be sharing some insights on what the economic impact of COVID-19 will be. Because of the uncertainty of the virus, that's a very difficult question to answer with certainty. We do not know how far the virus will spread, how quickly it will spread, and how soon a treatment will be found. Therefore, it's difficult to say exactly whether this will lead to a financial crisis. What we do know is that right now the financial markets are in stress. If we look at our commodity prices, if we look at our exchange rates, if we look at the way stock markets are behaving, but we'll have to see over time whether this will eventually lead to a financial crisis. It's difficult to think of any industry that won't be affected by COVID-19, mainly because even industries that aren't directly affected, like tourism, for example, many industries have interlinkages. And so if you think of tourism, for example, that is one of the industries that were affected immediately, but tourism also has other linkages to transport, wholesale and retail trade, hotels and restaurants, entertainment, and so on. So every industry will be affected. Some will just be affected sooner than others, and some will be affected more than others. The estimates are that low-income countries will definitely be more affected than advanced economies, and that is simply because low-income countries are typically very dependent on international markets, international commodity markets for their income, but that they're also very dependent on imports. And so we have trade restricted that affects low-income countries quite significantly. On top of that, a lot of low-income countries also have very fragile public health systems. And so you find a lot of individuals living in one area, so what we call urban crowding, and that spreads the disease more quickly. They also have hospitals that are understaffed and under-resourced. And so in that sense, it makes it very difficult to then contain a virus in such an environment. Before the outbreak of the crisis, a lot of companies and a lot of institutions were flirting with the idea of remote working, using more virtual channels, and the virus has sort of forced us to speed up that process. These kinds of things require collective effort, so if you think about moving to digital channels, that requires higher rates of electrification, it requires higher rates of internet penetration, smartphone penetration, for example. So we should be careful of not inadvertently creating a digital divide where individuals who aren't as privileged are then left behind because they do not have access to the new innovative ways that we want to work and teach. In conclusion, please remember to practice safe banking during this time by taking advantage of all the digital banking channels that are available to you.